This is a beautiful, and I do mean a beautiful, 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 beautiful Saturday. And I want to thank each and every one of you guys for being on this broadcast. Or should I say, guys and gals, for being on this broadcast. I haven't done a, truth be told, I have not done a live broadcast in I don't know how long. It's been a while. So I'm really excited to be here right now with you guys today. Remember, if you want to be support, or should I say, you want to submit your questions to the broadcast, all you have to do is just go to our Charles at realdealmeetup.com. That's Charles at realdealmeetup.com, and you can submit your questions. Now, like I said, it's going to be a fantastic show. I am so glad that you guys are here, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I am really blessed to have such a strong following from each and every last one of you guys. Now remember, you'll have the opportunity to submit your questions two ways. One, you can go to Charles at realdealmeetup.com. And number two, you can also just basically on this broadcast put your questions here on the broadcast in the comment section. As you already are aware of, we are streaming right now live on 5 different networks. And I mean 5 different networks. Those networks are Periscope, Instagram, Facebook. Actually, we're streaming on 5 different Facebook channels. Just Facebook alone. Then you also count in Twitch, and you count in the 2 YouTube channels, and that's a total. If you want to go total, that's about 9 different social sites that we are streaming live on. So I want to go ahead and thank Marta for being on the broadcast on Facebook. I want to thank all you guys on Instagram, all you guys on Twitch, YouTube as well for being on the broadcast. I like to start these broadcasts off first with a couple of what I call homework assignments. Now, what do I mean by homework assignment? What I mean by that is I want to give you guys a little bit of what's happening right now in the Real Deal Meetup. As you already know, we have a couple of events coming up in the next few weeks. As a matter of fact, on Thursday, I think Thursday is what date is that? Thursday is the 22nd. On the 22nd, we're going to have our Baltimore REI Network Mixer, and that's going to be located on the 19th floor of the Lord Baltimore Hotel. So make sure you meet us at the Lord Baltimore Hotel on Thursday, August the 22nd, for our 4th Thursday event, which is called the Baltimore REI Network Mixer. And of course, that event is powered by the Real Deal Meetup. Now, on that Saturday, which will be on the 24th, we got our monthly Baltimore Real Deal Meetup event. Now, that's going to be at the Best Western Plus Conference Center and Hotel located at 5625 O'Donnell Street, and it starts at 9:30 a.m. So make sure you're going to be there. We're going to have a mystery speaker. Speaker X is going to tell you guys how he's currently, or should I say how she or he is currently rehabbing an average of 8 to 9 deals a month. Currently, he's working on about 9 projects, or he or she. Your guys are going to be in for a treat, because this weekend, or should I say next weekend's meetup event, is really going to blow your mind. So I want to see you guys at the Best Western Plus Hotel, 5625 O'Donnell Street, on next weekend. Now, right after that, I told you we got a busy time. We got a busy week. We had the Real Meals and Deals, and that's going to happen on the actual 4th of September. The Real Meals and Deals event will be on the 4th of September. So make sure we see you guys at the actual Real Meals and Deals. Good morning to my big brother on YouTube. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for being here. I already got your question already, big brother, so I will definitely answer that. My man on Instagram, thank you for being on there. And we have Mastery on Instagram. Thank you for being on the broadcast. If you have any questions, guys, make sure you leave them in the comment section as we are filling up fast. Now, as I was saying, on the 4th of September, we'll have our Real Meals and Deals event. And that will be a great event that's going to happen at Ida B Table, located in downtown Baltimore. So make sure you come there, networking, good food. I mean, we have what we call our Duru interview session live down there as well. And last but not least, my mastermind meeting will occur on September the 7th and 8th. And that would be for all my mastermind members. So we have a full month ahead of you guys. So thank you for being on this broadcast right now. I really appreciate each and every one of you on all the networks that are tuning in. So let's go ahead and get to some of those questions that was already sent in to me. Actually, let's go with the question that was sent in by Big Brother on YouTube. He asks, "Good morning, Charles. What's the future of RBM and wholesaling?" Now, that's a good question. For me, I honestly believe that the future of RVM is not going to be very bright. And here's why. Because I think pretty soon they're going to be really legislating the RVM process. Right now, it's not legislated when it comes to how the legality of dropping an RVM. Yes, you can drop an RVM, but the issue comes in with the do not call list when it comes to you basically calling. RVM has been excluded from the do not call list. So here's what's going to happen. I honestly believe that RVMs will be included in the do not call as an actual way for which you can be penalized. I don't know what the legislation is going to do when it comes to how they're going to penalize us as investors, as marketers for using RVMs. But I think it's going to happen sooner or later. I think that it's a great way to generate deals. We use it in our business as well as cold calling, as well as direct mail and other marketing strategies. And it's an inexpensive way for you to generate deals. So I definitely recommend each and every one of you guys who are out there in the business to definitely take advantage of RVMs while you can, because I honestly believe sooner or later it's going to be legislated out. And I think it's going to be sooner than later. Now, he also asks, in wholesaling, you know, there's already, I can't recall what state that is or what city it is. It's already been legislated in an article that I read a couple of days ago in one of the actual municipalities that only agents are able to wholesale deals. And I wish I could recall what city or state that was, but that's not nationwide. It's only in one location right now. They actually legislated the fact that real estate agents are the only one that can actually wholesale properties. You either have to be a broker in order to do this. Thank you for bringing it up, Aaron. It's Illinois. So they're saying that you have to be a broker agent working for that brokerage in order to wholesale deals in Illinois. Now, this could be a huge issue for real estate investors who are currently wholesaling. Now, I honestly believe that that's going to happen across the country sooner or later, depending on how we handle it as investors, how we come together and lobby for this not to happen in other locations, because I don't know how it occurred in Illinois for wholesaling to be now outlawed by real estate investors. It can be only done by real estate agents. That is crazy. So be on the lookout for that, guys. You're going to really have to step up your game when it comes to the legislation side of our business, really to start lobbying for our industry, because there's a movement right now that could literally wipe out most of you guys who are looking at wholesaling as your strategy of choice. So be very cognizant of, get involved. We recently had a guy, Brad Chandler, who is part of Express Home Buyers. He spent millions of dollars making sure that our investors could use the term "we buy houses," because it was actually legislated. It was actually, I can't think of it. I think it was copyrighted by a company that said that you cannot use that term, we buy houses. And his company actually fought and won in court for us to use the term we buy houses in our marketing. So it was actually trademarked recently, and it was wiped out in court by the efforts of Brad of Express Home Buyers. Shout out to Big Brad of Express Home Buyers in Virginia. Now, this is going to happen with wholesaling, I believe. I think it's going to be a situation where pretty soon, across the country, we're going to be legislated out by one way or another, unless we as a people, and what I mean by people, I'm talking about our industry, we as investors unite and pull together some type of lobbying system for which we can protect what we find and love dearly about this business. And that's the opportunity to be a successful entrepreneur, which has been afforded to hundreds and thousands of people over the years. And pretty soon, it really could be legislated out if we don't do something about it. So keep that in mind, guys. Now, Kevin, thank you for being on the broadcast. Aaron, thank you for being on the broadcast. If you guys have any questions, my people on Instagram, thank you for being on the broadcast. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to put them in the comment section. My first question from my actual emails came from Rachel, who shares, where do you go to do real estate deals? Where do you begin to do real estate deals? That's a pretty long answer to that question, Rachel. If you know how much I love to talk, I can go on hours talking about where do you begin to start doing real estate deals. Let's first start off with, what do you need real estate to do for you? Because where you should begin at is the immediate issue you're having right now, and whether it's in your business, in your life, or whatever, immediate issue that needs to be resolved. That's where you should begin at. And here's what I mean by that. If you need quick cash right away, there are several strategies that can do that. Wholesaling, tenant placement. You could also do rent to own. So these strategies can provide you quick cash right away. If you need large lump sums of income, there are strategies that can do that. Rehabbing is one strategy that can allow you to afford large lump sums of income. If you're looking for generational wealth, there's real estate strategies that can do that. And of course, we know buy and hold is one of the classic strategies, owner structured financing, and so on. So you as the investor have to decide, what do I need real estate investing to do for me in order to answer the question as to where should you begin. If you need quick cash, I would begin with wholesaling. If you need large lump sums of income, I would start with rehabbing. If you need generational wealth, I'll use apartment buying or buying and holding as that way to begin. But you have to full-fledged jump into the strategy. You can't just dip your toe into it and hope to find success, because that's not how this business is going to work. Success is for those who have a plan, a consistent plan that works, a consistent plan. When we talk about offers, action plus offers equal profit. That's your recipe for success. So you have to work a consistent plan based on the real estate strategy that you need real estate to do for you. And that's the best answer I can give you. Where do you begin? Now, there's a lot, all the strategies work. The question is your knowledge that you have right now to execute the strategy. The hardest strategy to work and to make money off of, in my opinion, if you talk about the basic strategies, I'm talking rehabbing. It has so many moving pieces. Now, I've done hundreds of rehabs in my 30 years of being in the business. And for those who don't know, I've been in the business now for 30 years as a full-time investor, currently investing in 6 different markets. We're doing everything from wholesaling, rehabbing, buying and holding, tenant placement, owner structured financing, you name it. Have 3 different companies and so on and so on and so on and so on. The hardest strategy for anyone to master is rehabbing, in my opinion. So keep that in mind. The strategy that you want to choose first depends on where you need or what you need real estate investing to do for you. Once you knock that out of the ballpark, now it's just a matter of choosing the right strategy that's left over. Now, good morning to you, my friend Alex from YouTube. Also, Maria from Facebook, thank you for being on the broadcast. Kevin, thank you for being on the broadcast. Gwen, thank you for being on the broadcast. And Dr. Manuel Compass, thank you for being on the broadcast. I'm still out here waiting to hear from you, Manuel. So let me hear from you, my friend, soon. And on Instagram, we have Marbury, thank you for being on the broadcast. And The Real Guild, thank you for being on the broadcast on Instagram. Don't forget, leave those comments and questions below. Next question comes from Malik. He asks, can you tell me where do you go to find VAs to work in your company? Good question, Malik. Malik often is on the broadcast. He asks a lot of questions. Malik, where we go in my company, Chucky by Lucky Houses. In fact, we use VAs in all three of my companies. So if we talk about all three of them. Generally, where we go to find VAs is a couple of sites. Upwork is a good one. One of my favorite ones is onlinejobs.ph. That's a great site. It deals with Filipino workers. Upwork, you can get workers from all around the world. It's not just the Philippines. Onlinejobs.ph, you can get virtual assistants from individuals from the Philippines. We also have a tendency of going on one-off jobs, on some small jobs. In the past, we used to use micro workers from Fiverr. So those are several places where you can get good quality VAs for your actual business. Now, the key to working with a VA successfully is details. That's the key. Expect to give your actual virtual assistant detailed information on the task or job you want to do. As a matter of fact, we have a whole 35-page standard operating procedure that we use in our business, that we move from one VA to the next VA to the next VA. And it basically spells out to the VA exactly what tasks and activities we want that VA to do and how to do them. Now, yes, we'll hire specific VAs that already have expertise in different strategies and different techniques, marketing and so on, but there's still a way in which we want those tasks and activities performed. And I've actually created a whole standard operating procedure manual that we give our VAs that take them step by step what to do, A, B, C. And I highly recommend that each of you guys, before you hire a VA, at least have a detailed task laid out that you want that VA to perform, even if you're hiring a VA that has specific knowledge or expertise or something. James asks, what is the best way to do the BRRR strategy? And for those of you who don't know, the BRRR strategy is to buy, rehab, rent, and refi. That's a strategy that has been coined BRRR. Now, truth be told, that strategy has been around for years as strictly buying and holding. Typically, what you're doing with buying and holding, at least what we do in our business when it comes to buying and holding, we're taking a property, and when I say buy, I don't necessarily mean buy. I can also mean control. We're taking the property. If we're going to buy it, we're going to buy that property with hard money. Then we're going to actually rehab that property. And then we're going to actually put refinance that property, and then put a renter in the property. Not necessarily in that order. You could do the renter first and refinance, or you could do refinance and renter next, depending on what your lender is going to allow you to do that you're looking for the refi. Now, it's a great strategy. The key to that strategy is getting all in at 70 cents, depending on if you're using hard money, even 80 cents if you're using your IRA or private funding. You want to be in the 80 cents, 70 cents if you're using hard money. And what I mean by that is 70 cents on the dollar, all in, rehab, yada, yada, yada. Then you refinance the actual property, pull whatever profit out that you can because you're buying it at 70 cents on the dollar. You're putting a renter in, and now you're looking at the positive cash flow. And I do mean positive cash flow from that type of investment. We do it a lot. I love it. At one point in time, I was a large minority owner of apartment buildings in downtown Baltimore with over 325 units, 25 different buildings. So I'm very familiar with the BRRR strategy, but the key to that strategy is really getting in low. What I call low, once again, is 70 cents on the dollar or 80 cents on the dollar, all in. And once you're all in at that dollar amount, now you're going to basically have your cash pulled out by way of refi. Most refis you can get in at 70 cents, 75 cents on the dollar. And then you can get your cash back out, wash, rinse, and repeat. Buy again, rehab again, rent, refi, buy, rent, refi, buy, rent, rehab, refi. So that's pretty much what the BRRR strategy is all about. It's about getting in at a low cost so that all of your costs can be covered when you refi, and even put some profit in your pocket at the end of that point. Now, next question comes from Brian. How do you buy real estate with zero money? I always get that question on every Q&A session that I do. How do you buy real estate with zero money? Now, let me put a check mark next to that one. Or should I say an exclamation point? And here's the reason why. Yes, you can buy real estate or control real estate with zero money. And there's a couple of ways of doing it. One is using other people's money. And that's the cop way out, by using someone else's money to buy that property. You're literally buying it with other people's money. We talk about private lending. We talk about hard money lenders and so on. But the traditional way, what we're really talking about when we say zero money, most of the time you're talking about wholesaling, and or you can also be talking about owner structured financing, where you're controlling a property with very little money. I've done it before. My mastermind students have done it before, where we've actually controlled properties. As a matter of fact, I want you guys to head on over to my YouTube channel, and you'll see some case studies of deals that I've done and deals that my mastermind students have done, where we actually taken over properties. Now, it wasn't quite zero money. One of them had a situation where it was actually $100 you put down. One actually put down $10. I've done several of them where I put down $100 and control the property by way of owner structured financing. But the key is that you can get into properties with little to no money when you're talking about owner structured financing. Zero money, you have to be talking about somebody putting up the money by way of private financing or by way of other means that you can get involved in this business. The key that we're really referring to is control. More likely than not, when you're talking about zero money transactions, you're talking about control. And that's what the key is. You can get in with very little money if you know the right strategies. I call it being a transaction engineer. As a matter of fact, we did a workshop a couple weeks ago on how to become a transaction engineer. If you guys want the actual videos of that workshop, just head on over to my YouTube channel, which is Blair 109, or just type in YouTube Charles Blair, and you'll see my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, because we got over 600 videos on real estate investing on that YouTube channel. But basically, I did a whole workshop on how to do owner structured finance deals, subject to deals, rent to own, tenant placement, and so on and so on. That's what we discussed at that workshop. I even brought my attorney at the workshop to break down transaction engineering, working with rent to owns and trust and so on. So definitely check out that actual videos. It's on my YouTube channel at Blair 109. Thank you for that actual question, James. Very, very good question. Brian asked that question. Now, James asked the question, what is the best way to invest virtually in other markets? And we do that. We're currently investing in 6 markets, Maryland, D.C., Houston, Ohio, Jacksonville, Florida, and Virginia. So those are the 6 markets that we are currently investing in. And the key to where we are, how we are doing it, revolves around the fact that on all the markets that we are in, mainly my home-based markets are Maryland, D.C., and Virginia. Those markets, we have our own team, our own crews, people on the ground, boots on the ground, doing the actual strategies that we are doing in those markets. Now, in the other markets, and what I mean by the other markets, I'm talking about Houston, Ohio, and Jacksonville, Florida. In those markets, we have individuals that we partner with, that we JV with. So my company is actually doing all the marketing in those markets. I call them our sub-markets. And then we send all the leads to our JV partners in our sub-markets. And once our JV partner gets the leads, we work those deals by the JV partner working them, and then we actually split the profits on those deals from the JV partners. And that's exactly how we're doing it in those other three markets outside of Maryland, DC, and Virginia. So there's a number of ways in which you can do it. That's one way. Basically do the marketing in the market and then partner with somebody else in that marketing and you guys split profits. Another way you can do is actually create a whole team in the market. Go down to that market that you want to be investing in and actually put together a team, put together a realtor, put together contractors, put together title companies, and you actually have a presence down there, whether it's there on a physical basis or it's there on a virtual basis, but you actually have boots on the ground, an actual team that work on or work for your company in that market. And you're actually generating deals and leads from that actual team that has the boots on the ground and what you are doing in regards to the marketing that you're doing. And those are really the two ways in which you can invest virtually. I'm not aware of any other way. There may be, but I'm not aware of any other ways in which you can do it other than those two that I just subscribed. Thank you, James, for that question. The next question comes from Michelle, who wants to know, let's see. What is the best marketing I do to get deals? On average, we're doing anywhere from 8 to 12 deals a month. And the marketing strategies that we are doing, for the most part, involves everything from wholesaling with probate, absentee owners, divorce, inherited, code enforcement violation, bandit signs. We're also doing Facebook lead ads. We're doing retargeting, and dropping for dollars, of course. Those are the main strategies that we do on a regular basis. And we have some sub-strategies that we throw in there every once in a while. But for the most part, those are the main strategies that we're doing. And I want to be the first person to tell you guys that all strategies work. The key to those strategies is, how are you working them? There's a platform, there's an actual process that has to be adhered to when you're working marketing strategies. Adhere to that process. Make that process something that you is going to do each and every day, every week, every month. Because these marketing strategies require consistency. I'm going to say it again. The key to successful marketing strategies is consistency. Consistency will be and always will be your best friend when it comes to getting deals. Charles, what criteria should you be researching to determine if it's a good market to invest in? I love that question. Let me tell you the software that we use, and we've been using this one for about 8 months now. A lot of people have just basically jumped on board with this one, but we've been using PropStream, which actually have what's called heat maps built into it that allow you to see the markets where the sales or purchases are going on in the markets. Now, another way in which you can do it is by using your realtor. Another good way we've done it in the past is to basically use a realtor, and we ask that realtor to pull the actual lists from the MLS of properties that have been purchased with cash and also properties that have been purchased by first-time home buyers, individuals using FHA mortgages, loans, and so on. And these two metrics give us a actual breakdown of the zip codes where investors are buying and homeowners are buying. So that's what we do. We merge those two, what we call stack those two, and then we'll come up with what we call the best markets, or should I say the best zip codes and areas to invest in. There's several products out there that basically use the heat map principle, but I really love the way PropStream do it. And guys, if you want a free trial of PropStream, we have an arrangement with them. If you go to madpropertydeals.com, that's madpropertydeals.com, and sign up using our affiliate link, you'll get 7 free days of PropStream, but you'll also get an extra 7 days. So you can get a total of 14 days if you sign up through our link at madpropertydeals.com. So PropStream is the key to a lot of the deal generation that we're doing. It's not the only key, but it's a great resource that I highly recommend for lists, or the list that I mentioned, some of the lists that I mentioned, as well as comps. You can get comps nationwide using prop streams for your deals. I mean, information, they have some of the best seller information out there, mortgage information on the properties, before and after. I mean, like I said, madpropertydeals.com is our prop stream affiliate link. That's one of the tools that we use to determine what markets to invest in. Great question, Aaron. I hope that answers your question, Mr. Johnson. Now, next question comes from Craig. Now remember, guys, all you guys that are on all those social networks and gals, please submit your questions. I've been getting a lot of questions from you guys. I love answering your questions. So make sure you put them down there in the comment section. Instagram, I'm waiting to hear from you guys. Put those questions in the comment section if you have questions about real estate investing. Facebook, we're already getting questions from you guys. Thank you for putting them in the comments questions section. And YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope, thank you for putting those questions in the comment section. The last, or should I say one of the final questions, is coming from Craig. Craig asks, can you explain your business blueprint and how it works? I knew somebody was going to ask me about that. My business blueprint and how it works. Now, first thing first, I have to show it to you. And let me pull it up on the computer so that I can show you that business blueprint. Give me 1 second. And I think you should be seeing it right now. Now, that is the actual blueprint that we use in our real estate business when I say this is what we're doing. So keep that in mind. My blueprint is the key to how we actually run our entire business. And this is what we're doing. And these are the actual systems that we are using. These are the actual campaigns and how we follow up. Those are all the actual things that we are doing in the business. And let me explain to you how that works. Okay. First and foremost, if you look over here, you'll see that we have a total of 12 months of follow-up campaigns. Now, I'll be honest with you. The follow-up campaigns that we are doing aren't only stopping at 12 months. It goes beyond that point. Some campaigns we run 16, 18 months. So let's look at our process. It starts off with the actual lead source. So the lead source is where the deals are coming from. And if you notice, coming down this actual mind map, our lead starts off from our lead source, and it comes down to online marketing, offline marketing, and outbound marketing. So what do we call online marketing? Online marketing can be anything from Facebook ads. It could be pay-per-click campaigns. It could be posting in the Facebook marketplace. Anything that's being done with our actual online presence and our online marketing is what we call the top part of our funnel, or should we say our process. Then we have our offline marketing. Offline marketing revolves around driving for dollars. It revolves around door knocking. It revolves around direct mail. It revolves around going to the courthouse, and so on and so on and so on. That's our offline marketing. And then we have what we call our outbound marketing. Our outbound marketing can be a combination of all the above, but it integrates what we call our call centers. On average, we're doing somewhere between, I think it's, last I looked a couple of days ago, 15 to 18,000 calls per month. And that's what we're using with our call center. And that's pretty much the actual volume that we're doing outbound wise. So the outbound part of this equation brings everything that we've talked about from the lead source. It pulls it all together inside of our contact relationship management system. And that contact relationship management system is Podio. That's what we're using for our contact relationship management system. Now, I have a special setup that I had my developer create for our Podio. And for those of you that are part of the actual, I can't believe I said use. For those of you who are a part of our YouTube channel, you'll see that we have videos inside of there explaining exactly how my Podio is set up and the automations that we have built in. But I had it specially set up to run my business from our actual dedicated Podio developer. And then what you see here is we have leads coming in from our Mojo dialing system. That's what we use, as well as CallRail. So these are the actual tools that we're using to bring our leads inside of Podio. Now, of course, you have a manual input as well. So let's look at the process. The process that happens in my business is very simple. Yes, we are bringing in those leads. We are taking it into the business. My team, which involves lead managers, acquisition managers, contractors. We also have oversee outbound call manager, and so on, handling the whole process in the business. Currently, we have somewhere around, I think, 25 to 30 virtual assistants that we're using. We also have individuals in the States, and we also have what I call house hunters. We have about 200 plus house hunters that are finding us deals in those different markets that I mentioned. So the key to what we're doing revolves around that system that we have in place. So everything in that system goes directly into Podio. And once it's inside of Podio, then the process begins. And let me show you what that process looked like. We got the seller lead. It comes the seller lead. Once the seller lead drops in, we do our due diligence on the actual property. Once we do the due diligence, good deal, bad deal, we have a process, yes or no. That yes or no process revolves around us either going to the property and or making an offer on the phone. Once we make the offer, then the actual property goes to the point of visiting the property. Now, we also make offers on the phone without visiting the property, but eventually we'll get to the property and visit and confirm the offer. Now that we have the offer at the property, we now take that property through our system where it's offer accepted, offer rejected. If it's accepted, then we go and take it to the title company, and then we do our normal information that we're going to find with the title work. We have the title company do the work that we're going to be doing with the property, setting up for close. If it's rejected, then it shifts down to this follow-up campaign sequence that we have right here, and it breaks down when we send out the actual messages over 12, 18, 24 months. And this is the breakdown of the actual messages we're sending out. The messages can be anywhere from an outbound phone call, it can be a ringless voice message, it can be a text, or it can be an email. Those are the messages that we're sending out. And as you can see, that is the follow-up process that we carry out for 12, 18, 24 months, and so on. Now, here are all the different marketing things that we're doing. We're doing probate filing. We're doing failure to pay rent. We're also doing tax liens. We're doing code enforcement violation, divorce. We're also doing absentee owner, pre-foreclosure, inheritance, vacants, zero equity, and 50% equity or more, as well as owner occupied. So those are the actual marketing strategies that we're executing in the business. And once the property has been taken to the title company, we continue back down the path of our actual strategy, of our, our actual process, go to the point of sending it out to our buyers if it's a situation where we're wholesaling, or we go to closing and buy it. Now, I know that was quick, so please forgive me for speeding past this process, but I'm going to be doing a whole, and tell me, matter of fact, if you'd like for me to do a whole process on how we run our entire business. Let me know in the comment section. Yes, Charles, I want to see it. Yes, Charles, I want to come to that workshop. It's going to be a free workshop. You know, at the Real Deal Meetup, we do everything 100% all content, no BS, free for everybody that comes to those events. So let me know if you would like for me to actually go into deep detail and show you our entire process of how we run our business. So I would love to get you guys at that meeting. It's going to be soon. So I got one more question to cover in the last for today, because we've actually gone overtime. We're almost 10 minutes overtime, but I do want to make sure I get to that last question. If you only have $500 to invest per month in your wholesale business, how would you use that? Oh my goodness. Thank you for asking that question, because it gives me the opportunity to tell you guys about an actual video that I have on my YouTube channel. And I would love to be able to break it down right now, but it's very detailed. So if you go to my YouTube channel and you look at the actual message that says, or should I say the video that says, how to get your first wholesale deal in 30 days or less, I actually break down 3 different marketing strategies, price points that you can use to generate deals. I even break down a marketing strategy that you should do if your budget is $500. I make down marketing strategy that you should do if your budget is $1,000 and if your budget is $3,000. I actually break down in that actual video how you can do those videos, those actual marketing strategies. What's marketing strategies to do? So my friend, the cleaner 23, I would have you go ahead to those actual channels and look at it on our YouTube channel, and you'll see. I know you're already a member of the YouTube channel because I see it right there. So that's all I got for you guys. I have gone overboard. Thank you for being on this broadcast. My wife is calling me. My son is calling me. We are ready to get out of here. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. So thank you guys for joining me today. This is Charles Blair, the Mad Scientist, signing out. And I'll see you guys on the next broadcast. Take care, and thank you for each and every question you guys submitted. Bye-bye.